pivot a little bit from HIV and AIDS, but kind of still sticking with the health, the subject matter of health and healthcare. What are some of the leading health disparities that you think outside of HIV and AIDS that are still impacting Black communities today that we also should be maybe ringing the alarm about, talking more about? Are there any other things that come into your mind as well?
Are you on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook for my business. I'm starting to get on there personally because I know I have to do that and build my personal brand as well. Working in the federal government for a long time, I never needed, to build a personal brand, but now running my own business, I know I have to. So I'm on there. I'm not active, but I'm starting to get active.
I have a page on there, which is Watts for Dinner.
Okay.
And one of the things that's really important is diet.
Okay.
Our diet is controlling everything for us. High blood pressure, diabetes, and all of those things come from what we're eating.
Yeah.
What we're putting in our mouths on a daily basis. And we really have to be cognizant of that, because that's a generational curse that we keep passing, down. Except my grandson eats everything. Anything green I put in front of him, he's fine. But that's not the usual kid.
That is not the usual kid, no.
And that's not the usual, I'm finding out it's not the usual adult either.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, so those things, the high blood pressure, diabetes, and a friend of mine just lost his eyesight.
Oh no.
Because of diabetes.
Wow.
And he's about 55, 60 years old. And so he's going to spend the rest of his life in the dark because he did not heed his physician's warnings.
Right.
About, the things that he was doing to his body. So those sorts of things, excuse me, this is my contractor. Rod, do you have your key? Rod, do you have the key? Do you have the key?
I do at home. I'll grab it.
Okay, because I'm on a Zoom. Are you outside?
No. I'm not even there.
Okay.
No. I was just checking them. I should still be able to make it. I'll hit you if I am. I'll text you. If not, it'll be first thing in the morning. I'm tired.
Okay. All right. Call me back and let me know.
Okay.
Remodeling my house. I just put in a brand new kitchen, but the refrigerator is not working and neither is the stove. So I'm
no. Well, you just let me know if you need to step away for a second. I understand.
No, he's not sure if he's coming now.
Okay.
Now my blood pressure is going up.
Well, my lights have me shining and glistening, so
so talking with the health disparities, the other thing is lack of health care. I'm also a health advocate. I'm a certified health advocate. So I talk to people who don't know what to ask their physicians.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people and seniors, young adults and seniors who don't know the questions to ask, or even that they have the right to ask.
Yeah.
And so I coach people along those lines, what to say. If necessary, do you need me to go with you to make certain that you get your answers?
Yeah.
And I started thinking about that. My mother had Alzheimer's, but we didn't know it was Alzheimer's right then. But she would complain. I'd take her to the doctor's office, and the doctor would say, well, how's this? How that? And she's grinning and say, I'm fine. And I'm like,
No, you're not fine.
why do you think we're here?
Exactly. That's right.
So I started thinking about it more and more as I talked to people who didn't know what to ask. I have a young lady now, she's 42 years old. She just had to have bilateral mastectomy.
Oh, wow.
And I kept telling her, said, you don't take one person's advice.
Right.
You have to get several different physicians' advice, and you need one that looks like you.
Absolutely.
You know, people don't believe it, but not everybody's going to treat you the same, especially in
right.
California.
Yeah.
I have all Black doctors. Everybody else is going to touch me.
That's right. I feel the same way. Yeah.
So, you know, it's the lack of knowledge. And I'm finding out also that people don't have health care that could easily have health care. So I'm making a lot of connections for people to get Obamacare. And those are the biggest things that I see as obstacles for us right now in the health arena.
Okay. And along those same lines, bringing up Obamacare, what are some of the ways that you think, or do you think they're already doing it, or more can be done for our policymakers and our healthcare providers to work together to come up with solutions to end some of the disparities that we see, especially in our communities? What do you think that's going to take, or what that needs to look like for it to help us in our communities?
Well, I think more than anything, it's going to have to start on a local level, because each state is different. You know, like we have the top 10 health disparities in the country here in Baltimore. But other places have, you know, other things because of the nature of, you know, healthcare and people. But I think that national campaigns need to be run, but it's going to have to start on a state level. They're going to have to ask for it of our state and federal legislators to coordinate something like that, because it's a big task. It's a big daunting task, and I can't say with the present administration in Washington, they're not interested in us. They're not interested in us being better. At all. What is it, Missouri today? They took away child lunch in school. They're taking away food for veterans.
Books, they're doing the most in these local legislatures.
And I just told somebody today on Facebook, they said they would vote for Trump again. I said, he'll make you a slave.
Exactly. That part. That's
where they're headed. You know, and if we allow them to, we're gonna be in a pickle.
A big one. And that's to put it very kindly. And that leads me to, you know, my next question that I was going to ask you. What do we as individuals, so that's what the lawmakers, the policymakers, what that needs to look like, because like they say, all politics is local, right? And so I agree with you that it needs to be, of course we need to run national campaigns, but it needs to be on a local level in all jurisdictions where we live, work, and play, which is all of them. So we need to be active. And so how does that look like? That's what it needs to look like from policy government, but what does it need to look like from us individually? What does it need to look like from us?
It's probably going to have to start at the kitchen table. You know, we don't sit down and have dinner like we used to.
No, we don't. Everybody's so busy.
Right. But we're going to have to find a way to have these conversations. And to understand that I love chitlins. Honest to God, I love chitlins.
Yep. I grew up on them.
But I eat them once a year.
Yeah,
I don't eat pork anymore.
right.
I don't eat beef anymore.
Mm,
I I have I've changed my whole way of eating, and I eat now to live.
yeah.
And I, I tell people, well, I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 18.
Oh my goodness.
And so I had surgery when I was 20.
Mm,
Yeah, 20. And so I started reading
yeah.
everything I could. What is it that caused cancer? And then when I finally realized that's, it's our environment, it's the
Mhm.
things that we put in our body. So I've went vegetarian for years,
Wow.
and I just started adding seafood maybe about 20 years ago. I'm old, about 20 years ago.
You look good.
Pescatarian. I'm a pescatarian now.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And feel good, got a lot of
Feel
energy.
good, look good.
And I keep telling people, just follow what I do.
Yeah, it
I make
works.
my Yeah, I make my own elixirs. I do a lot of herbs. Um, I always think about our African ancestors,
Me too.
and they had everything that they needed.
Yep. From the
They
earth.
didn't they
Yep.
didn't need to take all this medication. I'm down to 2 medications from
Yep.
5. I
Mhm.
refuse. I said
Yeah.
we're gonna fix this.
We're gonna fix this. That's right, because it's all fixable with, like you said, it's lifestyle. What you're
Yeah,
eating, what you're putting into your body, what you're putting on your body,
on your body.
in,
Exactly.
because that's our largest organ. So all of that, very, very important. And like I said, I think we're gonna have to do a part two because I want to get into some of that minutia as well. But
Okay.
but for today, with it being Friday, we're gonna start wrapping up. But before we do, I want you to tell my audience about some of the current things that you're doing. Tell them about your business. You told us a little bit in the beginning, but I want to give you this opportunity to add anything else that you feel the audience should know about what you're currently doing and working on before I let you get off here and start your weekend.
Thanks. Well, I have 2 things that I'm doing. I'm supposed to be retired, but
But you're like, nah.
it's not happening. It's not happening. So, one of the things I'm doing, which I'm most proud of, I'm part of the Baltimore City monitoring team for the Baltimore City consent decree.
Mm,
And if you don't know, the consent decree is a legal binding piece of paper,
mhm,
and it's between Baltimore City, the mayor and city council, Baltimore Police Department,
mhm,
and then it's the monitoring team, and we report to the Department of Justice. We are the Department of Justice eyes and ears on the ground,
mhm,
who talk to people every day to find out whether or not they're seeing any changes, because Baltimore City Police Department they had to, if you think of a house, they had to tear it down to the basement,
yeah.
and they had to start all over again with their policies and procedures to make
Mhm,
certain that constitutional policing would come back to Baltimore City, because it was gone.
yeah.
It totally left.
Yeah.
And the police and Department of Justice decided the police department had to rebuild their house.
Mhm,
And so I'm very proud to be a part of that team.
yeah.
That's monitoring the police department and seeing changes,
Yeah.
seeing real changes. And then something that's dear to my heart, the Wattsline, I do travel, and I've traveled most of the world. So I am a good person to tell you, you don't want to go there,
Okay.
or this is what you want to do on your vacation.
Yes.
Um, so that's it in a nutshell, what I'm doing right now.
All of that sounds amazing. And it sounds like what you guys are creating with that decree is you're creating a foundational structure that other jurisdiction cities will be able to take and use, because I do feel like that's what we need in policing today, is exactly
Yeah,
what you just described. So I'm
right,
so happy to hear that you're doing that work.
right. And we're the only consent decree in the country that has community component.
Wow.
So I'm the lead community liaison for the city. So I'm all over the city, and we have liaisons at each one of the districts that I help lead with the information that they make sure that our citizens know, because with the consent decree, we don't want it to be a Baltimore City Police consent decree. We want it to be Baltimore City Police and the community.
In the community. That's very important to have that community piece. So
Yes.
I hope that you'll keep us posted and updated on that. I want to stay in touch. And some of that traveling advice, we're gonna definitely come back to you for that. Me and some of my sisters just recently got back from a vacation. We did Rome. We did a whole lot of European locations, and it was great.
I did in October.
Oh, wow. Wow. So I want to hear all about what you did when you went, when you get back. So then that'll give us some ideas when we go back again. But thank you so much, Wanda Watts. I appreciate your time today. I appreciate your energy and all that you put out into the world and the community. I know you're going to keep putting out positivity and things that will uplift all people, but especially our people in our communities, people who look like us. So thank you so much for all that you do. Please keep us posted on everything that you're working on.
I will.
And then eventually we'll get, part 2 to this interview schedule, because I still have about 1 million questions in my head for you. So thank you. Have a great weekend. I'll be reaching out just to get some high resolution photos from you to go in the print version of the magazine, and then letting you know when it goes to print. But thank you again. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you later.